All good. No worries. All right. You got you and me here, so that's all right.
There you go, baby. That's all it takes.
Oh, that's it, mate. It's middle of the day here, like I said, noon. So everyone's still working, being a Monday, but it's all good. But how you guys been? Like, you've moved now, haven't you? You're not in the other house.
Yeah, nope. We did the big move. We moved out into the country just a little bit, not that far from where we were before, but
Yeah.
just moved out into the country, man. Got us a farmhouse, a little bit of property around us, so
Nah,
just
it's
getting out of that rat race. You know what I mean?
Yeah, not having the neighbours right in your fucking back fence and all that.
Cutting their grass every time I try to do a live. You know?
Yeah. That's like where we are here in Taree. Across the road, we've got the school. So over the road, we've got the ag section. So we've got cows and sheep and everything. So that's our farm. We don't have to feed them. So we just sit there and look across the road at
Yeah. We had some cows here for just a little bit, but the farmer, he came and got them, and moved them somewhere else for the winter. I guess I don't know. I don't know how cows work, but they're gone now. So
yeah. No, it's all good. So you got so you're on a property, but you're just on a section of it then? Is that right?
Yeah, we rent the house that sits on the property. It's about 118 acres of property.
Yeah.
And then we have about 2 right in the middle that the property, the house is on, and then the farmer takes care of everything else. We don't do anything with that.
Yeah, no, that's cool. And you still got your Jeep, yeah?
Yeah, no, I got rid of that Jeep, man.
Yeah.
I sent it down the road too. Yeah.
Yeah. And what about your schoolie? You still got your schoolie?
Yeah. Yep. We still got the schoolie. We're still in the process of trying to get that thing completely finished up. We took about 2 years off, I guess.
Yeah. There's a lot of pennies to do those old things up. Like even when you first, when you were doing it and painting all the inside and everything else, and I sent you that sticker and all that stuff. It was just, there's just a lot of coin. It just takes a lot of coin, even just to get on the road.
Yeah, and we had that huge push to get it done to go to Sturgis in 19, and then we came back and we didn't really do much with it for a little while, and then unfortunately the virus hit, and we just haven't really got back to it yet. But I still have it. It's still in running order. Great. I just haven't done anything with it.
Well, that's the go. We've got James' Rides in here and Anonymous. That's cool. From your part of the world.
Oh, yeah. There we go. Anonymous Biker and Jones Rides. Yeah, baby.
Yeah. I haven't seen Anonymous for a while, but it's good to have him in here. Just that time difference is a big killer. Like, what, 16 hours ahead of you guys or something like that. And throws you all out of whack.
It's funny how 2 grown men can't get together and figure out time. But I had it all screwed up last time, I guess. I don't know what I did.
Must be the AA and the BC and all that stuff.
We got it together tonight, though. We got it together.
Exactly. Hell on 2 wheels. He filled the slot last month, which is pretty good and good of him. And been wanting to get him on also. So, no, it worked out good. It's all good. And then, still got your schoolie, and You got the bopper now, isn't it? The street bopper.
Yeah, I got that street bob, baby. I'm just
Yeah.
trying to get that thing slicked out and ready to go.
Yeah.
Just trying to, again, same thing, man. The virus
Yeah.
hit. We can't get parts, and what
Yeah.
should have been about a 2-month project to getting a bunch of stuff done on that thing is now stretched out to the whole year. So
that's like I bought a set of shirts from the Dude's Clothing Wear in America, and it's fucking been nearly 7 weeks. And I emailed him, said I still haven't got it yet, and he goes, "No, it's in Australia." I said, "Well, I still haven't fucking got it. You know, it's supposed to be Christmas presents, and still waiting." So I don't know.
It's all a crapshoot. I mean, they tell you one thing, and then of course you just got to wait and see when it shows up. So
that's right. And then the worst thing is, if it does come over, you don't know if it's going to sit on the docks for 14 days to.
Yeah, that's true too.
Kill the whole virus and all that type of shit. So you just, I don't know, you just got to wait. If you don't get it, then you just get in touch with them again and kick up a stink.
Yep, hurry up and wait. That's the way it's been for a year now. So it's funny you bring that up too. A motorcycle, of course, you're going to bring that up because it's what we do. But today, the 12th, I believe it's the 12th.
Yeah, 12th
of December.
Yeah.
Okay, 12th here still for me, but today is the 1-year birthday for the Street Bob. I bought it on the 12th of December last year.
Yeah. Really? That's right.
Yeah, I didn't even rerealize that till you just brought it up, man.
Quick. Well, I started following you when. I started following you when it was Adam and you just went for the world record and you just didn't get it the first time, and you did your live video or your video and you're sleeping near the stage that next day and all that and saying hi to everyone, and I just loved the whole perspective of watching that event from all different other people's perspectives, like channels and all that. The event at K River and doing the challenge and everyone else's YouTube's doing all their style on it, and that was good. That's
it was a lot of fun. Those are fun events down there at the K River Campground.
Yeah, I'll get there one day. I'm not going to hold my breath though, but who knows? It's on the bucket list.
Yeah. Well, I missed the Stubborn American in October because we decided to go down for his little thing in June. So we did go down last year, but we didn't make the Stubborn American. I think we're going to hopefully try to put that together this year. We'll see what happens. You can't make any plans out past about a month anymore because you never know what's going to be going on.
Like you can't spend money on tickets and shit because then you don't know if you're going to get reimbursed or you lost your money.
Yeah, and I don't know about you, but I don't have hundreds of dollars to just have floating around out there until somebody decides to give it back to me. So.
No, mate, money's too hard to make to throw it away. That's for sure.
Yeah.
I can drink it, but that's about it.
Hey, at least you make the choice to drink it, though.
Yeah,
it ain't somebody else ain't drinking it for you.
Yeah. Exactly right.
Yeah.
And also, you're my number 13 subscriber. I remember that video you did too. You're on back of your decking, chuffing on a Cuba. And I remember you said he goes, he's Speedy Independent, number 12. He's got 12 subs. Bang, you got number 13 now.
That's how it goes. That's how it happens right there.
Remember plain as day.
Yeah.
And also that show that got me on to watching the New Zealand fella. He used to be called Cue Ball or 8 Ball back then, but it was Easy. What's his name? His name's Bruce. He's on the North Island. We were going to call in and see him, but his son had a Bucks party the day we were over there. We couldn't link up.
Yeah.
Bruce. I can't remember. Easy New Zealand, as you are, as it is New Zealand. I can't remember the channel at the moment, but old Bruce.
Yeah, I know. I'm trying to think too. People change the name of their channel so much anymore. It's hard to keep up with what the current name is.
As you were New Zealand, I think that's.
Yeah, there you go. As you were.
Yeah, something like that. It come to me eventually. But no, that's cool. But no, the whole COVID thing it's messed everything up a fair bit. But we've got to live with it now anyway, I guess.
Yeah, exactly.
Yeah.
It is the world now, so at least for now. Maybe it's temporary, but for now, that's what we got to do.
Hopefully, we just get the needle in it and might help clear up, or you don't know. It's all trial and error. But then you got all these other wankers protesting and stuff. You can sort of understand their perspective, but I think they're just doing it to cause ruckus.
Yeah, a lot of them do that. They just they see an opportunity to go act like a fool, so they go act like a fool.
Exactly right, mate.
It's like a freebie.
Yeah. Well, no worries. We'll start the questions. We've got the first one up there. Just like Yeah. What inspired your YouTube channel? Or what inspired you to get started actually YouTubing?
You know, I mean, really, it's just I had a YouTube, excuse me, I had a GoPro, a
Yeah.
recent GoPro. I think this is the way everybody's YouTube channel really starts. I got a
Yeah.
camera, and then I got a Street Glide, and the next thing you know, I'm like, hey, you know, it'd be super cool if I film some rides, you know, on my Street Glide. But that's how it all got rolling for me. I never intended on having a
Yeah.
YouTube channel that I would make, you know, content on a normal basis or anything like that. I just started filming a couple of stupid little things and putting them on there. And before you know, it got to be a thing, and then it became a hobby. You know, I had
Yeah.
plenty of time to do it when I started it.
Yeah.
Unfortunately, life gets in the way, and you start getting busy, and stuff starts
No,
falling to the wayside. You know.
yeah, yeah, mate. I've gone to the days where I'm trying to put a video out every week. I'll be lucky to get one out every fortnight or 3 weeks, but I've still got me subs and all. It hasn't fluctuated too much, so I've got the loyal supporters there, and that's the main thing. But I started exactly like that. I had a GoPro for 18 months. I had the channel probably 2 years prior to even, I think, prior to even fucking, someone got me on YouTube and made it up and, you know, did the channel and all that, only to watch stuff. And then got a GoPro when we were going to New Zealand on a cruise. Used it once, and then it took us another 12 months after that to actually sort of, oh yeah, I can do this, you know. And I thought, oh, how about I do that? It's like I seen Adams watching him riding around, you know, each Harley dealer shop and whatnot, and watching the scenery. He said that's a good idea. I might do that here and show them Australia, and that's honestly how I got started too. But
Yeah,
mainly
yeah,
it is,
that's how it happens. You get a bunch of footage, and you don't know what to
yeah,
do with it, and eventually you sit down and you start trying to edit something, and before you know it, you've kind of figured out a little bit how to edit, and next thing you know, you're putting videos up.
yeah, that's it. That's how it all starts. But that's honestly how I started, and mainly it's for my own use now. Like just put the videos on there, and you can watch it later. Well,
Yeah.
my number one viewer is myself. I think I just I'll sit in there
That's
and
the
just
same way with everybody. I mean,
if there's
ultimately,
nothing
the
on
reason we
telly,
put
you
them
know,
on there, yeah,
yeah,
so we
I'll
could
go
go back and
watch.
watch.
Yeah, I watch the ride to Southwest Rocks Jail, and I'll watch that, or I'll, because I got music ones as well. I'll just put that playlist on, and I'll play the music playlist, or you know, even the lives. That's in a playlist, and I'll just flick through. They go for an hour, hour and a half. So to kill time, I'll rewatch them. But
Yeah.
yeah, I guess my number one view is myself. So get me ratings
Well, let's face it, nobody's as cool as we are to ourselves, right? I mean, that's
up.
that's the whole thing, right?
We get ourselves too, eh? So
Yeah. Look how
we'll be
badass
laughing.
I am
We'll be
riding
laughing
around.
before
Yeah.
laughing before the punchlines even hit because we're
Yeah.
already.
Yeah. Yeah. And I mean, like I live in a climate where you can only ride so many months out of the year. So it's really nice for me to be able to sit down and relive the adventure, you know, sometimes. And
Yeah,
yeah,
exactly.
it all works out.
We can sort of ride all year round here, but winter does get pretty nasty every now and then. But that's the
Yeah,
way it
we
is.
could probably ride. I could probably ride more than I ride here, to be honest with you. But once I put that salt down on the road the first time, when
Yeah,
you get
that's
your first,
direct. Yeah, we
yeah, I
don't get
mean,
that here.
makes a mess, and then it just makes it slippery out there for you. And I
Yeah,
don't know. I even though I got insurance, the last
yeah,
thing I want to do is put my bike on the ground and have to wait months for that thing to get fixed. You know, that's
exactly. And then it's second hand then because you know you've been with
yeah,
it.
yeah,
Yeah,
you beat it
I
up.
hear you.
So you
Yeah,
know, it is what it is. But that's
yeah,
why I try to find other things to keep me occupied during the winter months. But
yeah.
honestly, it just kind of sucks in the winter. You know, there's just not that much you can do
Yeah,
for
it's
us
funny you
anyway.
say that actually because this is the second question: is what your other hobbies? What other hobbies do you do not bike related?
Other hobbies not bike related. Well,
Yeah,
unfortunately, the majority of mine is bike related. But I tell
yeah,
you what I do. I in the wintertime is when I really sit down and I start looking at the calendar and I start looking at destinations and things that I want to do, places I want to go. Last
yeah,
winter, I started to gather a bunch of my camping gear because I want to start doing more moto camping.
yeah,
And moto camping videos is really where my interest has been over the last year. So I thought, yeah, I'm gonna use the winter months to my advantage. I'm gonna do a bunch of research. I'm gonna, watch a bunch of videos that other people have put out. I'm gonna decide on a bunch of gear, and then I'm gonna test it
yeah.
throughout the year in preparation for going down to K River last June. And so we
Mm-hmm.
did that, and it worked out. I didn't get as much film. You know, the thing with YouTubing, none of us are millionaires, and none of us
No.
really get paid to do it.
Oh yeah, and it costs a fucking monster
Yeah,
just the
and
camera
then
and everything else.
yeah,
Yeah.
you take a big trip, and then you come back and you find out 4 days after your big trip, you spend all this time and money on this equipment, and then you get back and you find out half of your shit doesn't even work. There's no
Yeah.
audio on it, or it's crap, or the camera
Yeah.
overheated and turned off,
Yeah.
and that just kills you. And it's like, well, here I had this big thing planned, this huge
Yeah.
video that I wanted to do, and now I've only got bits and pieces of this trip that I took. And sometimes you try to put it together, and other times I just say screw it and I throw it in the garbage. So
Yeah. I think my number one camera I use now is mainly my phone because you got it on you all the time,
yep.
and the quality of them they're good anyway. And
yeah, I did the exact same thing, buddy. I bought me a new phone and I use that all the time now.
Yeah, and you can do panoramic, slow motion, and all sorts of things with that thing. It's just on your phone, and it helps you with your GoPro and that. Anyway, you got it on you all the time, and you can do a quick video and whatnot. Like I said with the GoPro, if I had one mounted near my muffler and I was doing a ride, and it turned off because it got too hot because it was stuck on me pillion's foot peg by hose clamps and the GoPro mount. It was just there, but it was a hot, stinking hot day, 40-degree day, and it fucking turned off. So I got stuff all footage. So
that sucks.
All the camera angles and all that look good, and that's a good idea. I'll try this. And 9 times out of 10, you can't be going too flat out if you're filming yourself with the GoPro, or when you got it mounted, they either shake the shit out of themselves or they go overheat and like I said, and you got no audio or shit like that.
I have 2 angles now. If it's an angle from the bike when I'm riding, it's my GoPro when it will work, And then if I'm not on the bike, it's my iPhone. I mean, that's the only 2 cameras I take with me now. I try to keep it nice and simple, and I do most of the filming with the phone, and that works out. It's never failed me. It's just it has its limitations for obviously when you're riding your motorcycle. It's almost impossible to run a phone. So
I bought a 360 camera as wasn't a cheap one. It was still $70. It was a good quality, reasonable quality one, but when you go into the software, you got all your different angles. You got your eggshell or your panoramic or 2 panoramics and different sort of angles it can do on the app to watch. But trying to get that to the laptop off the SD card, you want to watch that perspective view, you can't do it. You only get the eggshell. And it was like, fuck, and I've only used it twice. I'm still I did a family camping trip down West Jasper, fox shooting and fishing and for the alt with family. I just want to get all that on a nice USB stick, give it to them for Christmas, but I still haven't worked out the 360 camera. Going down like hairpin turns and all that and down this steep mountain, looking at the dam. It looks awesome in the panoramic, but trying to get that on the laptop to get it how you want it, it's not fucking working. So I think that's the second and last time I'm using that one.
And you go through all the trouble, and then this is what happens to me at least. I'll go through all the trouble. I really plan it out well. I make sure I got the batteries and all the stuff that I'm going to need. And then you go, and like you said, you take a ride, and then you come back and you look at the footage, and it's screwed up, or it's just not exactly what you thought it was going to be. And then I wouldn't call it even getting discouraged. I just get fed up, and I'm like, you know what? I'm tired of putting all this time and effort into this to get crap. And then for a month, I put it away, and I just walk away from it for a while. Unfortunately, the month has turned into 2 months and then 3 months. And, sometimes you just want to go and enjoy yourself, and it's like, if you can get it on film, great. And if you can't, oh, well.
Well, I got the stage now too, like because I've got the 4-wheel drive. Because Kirsty, Mrs. Smitty, she got osteo in her hands, and she couldn't. I was going to buy her a bike, but she can't hang on to her handlebars. So we got the 4-wheel drive. Got a lot of 4-wheel drive footage. I still got to edit, but I'm lucky I got that because now we'll just go 4-wheel drive and not take the cameras. Like I said, if we do find a nice spot, we've got the phones anyway, and things like that.
Yeah,
the other day I got a beach pass and drove on the beach, so I knew I was going to do that. I threw the GoPro in, had it charged up, clipped it on the bull bar, and did a video of that. Like it's maiden voyage on the sand, and it come out all right. But 9 times out of 10, if we're going bush or going over a track that we've already gone on, it's sort of not worth taking the camera because you've already been there. And the floods have wrecked it where we go 4-wheel driving now, and it's not as scenic as before. So it's all washed down trees and everything else, whereas before it was all nice rainforest type of scenery. Yeah. The biggest flood we had here in March on Mrs. Smithy's birthday, her 50th. She'll never forget it. It took us 8 hours to get home. We're only an hour and a half up the highway, but the roads were blocked. They were flooded in, and it just wrecked everything. It was a big flood, and it's still trying to struggle and get back from it. It's still hay bales all washed down the river, and the pontoons and fucking wheelie bins and everything all down the edge of the river.
Yeah. Yeah, I mean, I deal with the same thing. I think we do, we all run into that where you film the same thing over and over, and it's like, I don't know how many times people want to watch me ride down the same road. So then that's another thing. It's like, well, if I can't find something different, then I'm not even going to bother filming it because people have already seen that. So
that's it.
Yeah, I don't know how people put out videos. I mean, I do know how, but they got to constantly be trying to just make stuff up to put videos out.
That's it, and I'm not like that.
And I don't have the time for that. I like trip videos. That's what I like. I like trips.
It's got to be the real deal. For me, I still like I know the bike related stuff's getting outweighed by the 4B stuff, but everyone's enjoying it, which is good. But I still want to. I'm going to make a rule of myself. At least get out on the bike 2 times a month. Just get out and do a ride and do something. I agree.
Just go out and make yourself happy. Get your wind therapy, and
that's another thing too. Like with the whole bike situation, last thing you want to do is grab the GoPro. You just want to jump on the bike and go for a squirt around town, which I do quite often. So just clear the head. You need therapy. So I'll go out and I'll do the loop, or head out the Crowdy Lighthouse and back home again, which is like a 40-minute, 50-minute round trip out there, half hour out there and back, out to the beach, and stop at a pub on the way home and put it away. And
those days end up being the perfect days where if you'd had the camera, you probably could have got something really great. But again, there's just something to be said for, first and foremost, motorcycle is the therapy. It's what I do to go out and enjoy myself. And when you start making work out of it all the time, well, then you just don't enjoy yourself. So, I'm always going to be limited on what I can put out there because I just don't have, I'm not into trying to make work out of it for myself. And it does become a lot of work. So, what are you going to do? Stop making videos.
That's why I sort of got this live I do once a month. And even it's hard to try and keep up with that. It's like, it only seemed like a fortnight ago. It was a month ago. But next is like up there. And then I go, fuck, I have to get in touch with you to see if it's all good and we can get on the same page.
And I'm in the same boat because I have said since I moved out here, and we moved out here at the beginning of October, that I was going to start doing a live once in a while, just because it's easy and you can put it out there, and if people really enjoy watching what you're doing, they'll tune in and watch it and stuff. And here we are, middle of December. I still haven't done one. It's just seems like it always just kind of gets pushed aside because there's just so much other stuff going on. And frankly, I just don't have the time that I used to have. I used to have extra time, and that was my hobby. And now I just don't have that much time. So,
it's like that too. And at our age now, it's like the last thing you want to do is be on the laptop editing when you got a reasonable day outside. You just jump on the car or the bike and go forward or get out and about. Like, last thing you want to do on your weekend where you've been working all week is do more work, even though it's a hobby side of things.
Right,
you just want to get out and wind down.
And when I moved out here, I bought a couple of new toys when I moved out to the farm here. Yeah. And I just don't have, I have a side-by-side now, 4-wheel drive side, which is awesome and everything, but I haven't really done anything with it that would be worthy to film and put on YouTube. But I'm spending, I spent more time in the last month messing with the mini bike and the side-by-side than I did my motorcycle. So,
No, exactly. Well, I still got the 426 there. I want to get going, but it's got to go to the Yamaha shop to get the carby cleaned out because it's been sitting around too long. You can start it with a choke, but then when you turn the choke off, it dies. So it's a needle and seat issue that just needs clean. So but the carbs are so fiddly on them. My brother said, don't touch it. Just take it to a bike shop and get them to do it properly. So that's Port Macquarie. That's 40 minutes north. So I got to get it booked in, get it
well,
done.
and then you got to wait for them to fix it. So
Yeah,
you know
exactly
you're at their whim whether they're going to fix it for you or not. So
yeah, but I'm definitely doing it in my Christmas break that I'm here. I'll be giving it a ring probably tomorrow actually, and find out when I can get it up there. And I want to organise it because it's 45 minutes away, so I can get there, drop it off early, and pick it up that afternoon. I can stay in port for the day, pick the bike up, and then come home type of thing for a couple of hours or however long it's going to take it from the cleaner. Try and work something out that way. But yeah, I definitely want to get that in the bush because mainly to scout tracks for the 4B. We found tracks, me and Kirsty, but after the rain, the big boys have gone there and made bog holes and shit like that, and you just get stuck. I only just bought a winch for the 4B yesterday, actually, with my Christmas bonus from work. So that's yet to go on. So that'll help us out. But we go 4B in a lot by ourselves, and you got to be sensible. Like, you know, can we get across there? Is it worth it? We don't want to be stuck here the night. No, we'll turn around and go. But 9 times out of 10, I'll hit it. I'll send it. But you got to be sensible.
Yeah, exactly.
Yeah, it's all the fun. Okay, number 3 question is: when did you learn to moto? How long you been riding?
I was that typical kid. I grew up in southern Alabama, which, you know, southern part of the United States. Every kid had a dirt bike. We all had dirt bikes. I don't even remember specifically the time. I know my first dirt bike that I actually owned was a 86 XR 100 dirt bike, motocross bike.
Right. I remember when they first come out.
Yeah. And so
your learner's bike.
Yeah, we rode the crap out of that thing. But when we got that dirt bike, we'd already been riding, you know, other dirt bikes and stuff like that before that. So I just probably from the time I was about 12 or 13 years old, we were always out riding bikes. It just got in your blood young, and it never leaves, to be honest with you.
Exactly. It's like I got 2 brothers, 8 and 11 years older than me, so I was just born into a petrol-head family. And in the middle of Canberra, there's all muscle cars all around town. The boys had the muscle cars. Gary, the middle-aged brother, he raced motocross. Terry raced midgets in the speedway. Plus, they had the XU1 and all the all the muscle cars and the V8s. So I was just destined to be a petrol head. And,
well, you know, when we were kids, there wasn't that much to do, so everybody was out.
Exactly right.
Out riding dirt bikes and riding
motorbikes. Petrol, burning gas. Exactly right.
Yeah, you stayed outside, man.
I wouldn't change it for the world, actually.
No, absolutely not. That's what's great about living out here now. I mean, I don't have a dirt bike per se, but we bought a mini bike and this side by side. I jump on it, ride right through the yard, go out in a cornfield, do whatever I want to do out in a cow pasture. That's the way I grew up. So it's nice to be back to being able to do that for a little bit, you know?
Yeah, I bought a quad and a little thumpster for my boys, but they didn't take to it. And then, you're not one to force it on them. If they want to have another go later on, they will. But they rode the quad for a while, but then it grew thin and they didn't feel like riding anymore. So we sold it. But I had a little 125 Orion thumpster and a little 3-speed thing, and that was awesome. I was riding around the front yard and the backyard, and we take it out bush and go riding. And
that's where you learn how to crash, you know. That's
exactly.
You know?
I was got the stage over you sitting out the front having a 6-pack, and then I go, I'll get a thumbster out, and then I go, oh no, I better put her away now, because you wore a track in the front yard, and you think you might be able to limit.
I mean, those were the good old days, man. And like I said, my kids didn't get to grow up like that. We lived in town, in a neighborhood. I mean, if you rode up and down the street one time on a dirt bike, you know, there'd be some old lady calling, hey, there's kids riding up and down the street on the dirt bike. So they didn't get the benefit of that, but that's exactly how I grew up. You know, me and I have a twin brother. We terrorized the town on dirt bikes. Every kid did. So it just kind of came natural. You didn't even think about it, honestly. It just what kids did. So that's what we did.
Yeah. And it happens here a lot, but how do I say this without being racist, is that the native Australians here, they just get away with it. If we did what they do here on a motorcycle, we'd be locked up. So that they ride around t-shirt, shorts, wheel standing up and down the street on 2 strokes all the time and all afternoon, and they don't get boo from the police. And things like that, and I jump on that and ride up the corner and be unregistered, and I'll get a fine and all that type of stuff. You know, you do the sort of semi-right thing and act sensible, not Will standing up and down the streets, and they yahoo and carry on, and they sort of get away with it. But yeah, that's the thing. And then when you jump on that, they'll say, "Oh, you're being racist" and shit like that. And yeah, it gets me. It's another whole story altogether. Anyway, the next question, is drones. What's your worst drone experience you've ever encountered? Or B, if you haven't got a drone, your favourite music band you've seen live?
Well, I'll answer both of them. I have a drone, and the worst experience I've had with it is that I bought it. I've never really done anything with it. I had huge plans for that thing when I bought that thing, and I learned how to fly it, and I mess around with it from time to time, but I don't do anything with it. It just most of the time it doesn't make it into. You're on a motorcycle, first of all, so you got a limited amount of space, and you already got a bunch of batteries to deal with, and I've just never found the time to honestly get it out and make it worthy, make use out of it. So, what are you going to do? I still have it. Matter of fact, it's in the cabinet behind me up there. And, it's ready to go anytime I want to fly it. I just don't ever really fly it.
Yeah, I pushed the one finger launch button on mine and never come back. It just fucking took off. And Merry Christmas.
And see, that was the fear. That was the fear with me. I bought this expensive drone, and it's like you're so careful with it to begin with. Well, then the fad kind of passed for me. It's like before I even really got any use out of it. But I still enjoy using it. I just really haven't done much with it.
Yeah, that's it. And
then what was his favorite band live?
Yeah. What's your favorite music type of thing, or what's
I'm a hair metal kid, so I was listening to hair metal back in the mid to late 80s.
I've noticed in your soundtracks that I've been related to a few of your songs and bands in that. Yeah.
Oh yeah, man. I still use all the the music that I listened to throughout high school and all that. That's what's in every one of my videos because that's just what I relate to. So that's what I put in there, and that's why I'll never have a successful YouTube channel because I break all the rules because I don't care. I want people to experience the ride the way I experience it. And when I'm riding, that's what I listen to. So that's what I put in my videos. But obviously Tesla is my band. I've seen them like at least 18, 20 times. I couldn't even tell you. But they were my actual first real rock band that I ever saw when I was a kid. Yeah. Just pure coincidence. I actually went to watch David Lee Roth right after he left Van Halen. Mm-hmm. And Tesla happened to be opening for David Lee Roth. That's how I got introduced to him. Yeah. And so that was it was February of 1987 when I seen him.
We after 84.
Yeah, and I still
87,
I still listen to him today, every day. Yeah. It's on my loop, man. When I put my music on, there's a Tesla song in there. So
yeah, we same thing, like all Guns N' Roses, all that, Iron Maiden, Metallica. What else is there? You got Skid Row, then you got the Aussie ones, obviously AC/DC, and just all the big air band,
all of it,
Van Halen, anything that's fucking had a beat and made you drive fast. That's what we listen to.
Exactly. I ain't trying to chill out most of the time when I'm riding my bike. I like to get into it.
Exactly. Or like my apprenticeship, I was 3 hours away from home, my hometown, so I'd stay in Sydney for the week, and then I'd go home on weekends. So it was like every afternoon or Friday afternoon or a Monday morning, the tunes are in nice and loud, and like away you go. You're just playing anything fast and loud just so you can get there.
Yeah, exactly. Yep.
Get there.
I mean, that is the therapy for me, listening to my loud music and riding fast. That's what I do.
Yeah. But, Early Throttle Juice just popped in there. Roger, he's into the metal and all that, and his wife's a mad Alice in Chains fan. And he is also, and then we're talking about Anthrax and all that the other day. We just had our Aussie meetup for the first time in 3 years last weekend, and him and his wife are down there, and most of the Aussie vloggers could make it, and we went there. We just put videos out, all that. I'm still yet doing mine, but just playing heavy metal, and he put his wife's a COV and put Alice in Chains through this 6-speaker sound system on the Harley, and fuck, it just banged. It was awesome.
Yeah, see, Alice in Chains. I got different segments of music for different times of my life, and of course, grunge all happened. That garage music happened right when I joined the military. So all through my time in training and my first duty station and all that. Alice in Chains, Stone Temple Pilots, of course, Nirvana, you know, Temple of the Dog, Pearl Jam, all those bands. So I listen to as much of that stuff as I do that hair metal, but it's just, you know, just different times in my life that's what I was listening to. So.
Do you remember that? There's an I think a US band. It used to be called Tora Tora.
Are you kidding me?
yeah,
I know Tora. They're on my loop, man. I play them all the time.
Tora, and who else? Or DAD, Disney and After Dark was another one, and then obviously Volbeat right into that. They're good, and then I'll tell
you another good one I used to listen to all the time, Tangier. Most people never even heard of them because they kind of came out late, right before grunge killed all the hair metal. But the Tangier was an awesome band. They had two albums, 2 CDs out, I think, and every song on both of them are excellent. Look up Tangier on your iTunes or whatever, and that's a good band, man.
And also Roger, one of his mates, he was, I think, or mate of, he was playing in we went to see Metallica and Mortal Sin. Yeah, they played before him, and he knows one of or a friend of the Mortal Sin. That band, as well.
Yeah,
and, I love his music. That's for sure. The louder the better, and faster the faster.
Yeah, I got to tell you, music goes hand in hand with motorcycles. To me, 2 things I did when I was a kid growing up. We didn't have cable TV. We had 2 channels on that you could watch on TV. Yeah. We were poor as dirt, and I would go buy a cassette. You know, we'd get money up to go buy a cassette. I'd buy one. My twin brother would buy one, so we'd get 2 at a time.
Off the radio.
And we would just play that thing until it wore out, and then we'd go get another one. That's what we did. We just listened to music and rode motorcycles and hung out and played sports, and that's all we did.
Exactly right. There's Rob from Down Under. He was there last weekend also. He on his lunch break, I'd say. Yeah.
Oh, yeah, because this is your Monday, right? See, this is Sunday evening for me, but it's your Monday.
Yeah, it's Monday, It's, no, I'm just lucky I'm on holidays already, and that's why I thought, no, we'll push it through and try and get it done today, which is good. So it's worked out pretty good, because other than that, it'd have to be on a weekend type of thing again. That's what I try and do. The midweek ones, I'll do Aussie and New Zealand vloggers, because they're only a couple of hours all on the same time zone. And then, US and international, whatever, UK overseas, I'll try and jam in on the weekends and do it that way. But okay, the next question, and they're in here in the time. This is a good question. This one, I like it. And tell us something mischievous about yourself that your oldies don't know about.
Well, let me see here.
Yeah. Allegedly, you can throw that in to cover your ass.
I don't really know how to answer that without getting myself in trouble, maybe.
Well, no one's listening. There's only 5 in here.
Yeah, but they can always go back and look it up, can't they?
Yeah.
Something mischievous, man. I don't know. I honestly, give me an example. Give me yours. Maybe think of something.
One off. You put me on the spot now. Well, I remember Rob stole his old man's Kombi and took it for a drive, and he brought it back, but he went through a fence or a bush, ripped the lino roofing, and then his old man realised he took the car for a spin, and he got done that way. Myself, I just mainly did things where I wouldn't quite get caught, so I sort of knew how to push the limit. And always leaving the house and going to beach parties and things like that. And
I did all those typical things kids did. We'd leave and go. Same thing. We lived about 2 hours from the Gulf Coast. We'd leave in the middle of the night, drive, without telling our parents or anything, down to the coast, hang out, 3-4 hours, drive 2 hours back home, stuff like that. But we weren't, we didn't really have that much going on in my little town. We used to do this thing called Mission Impossible, because we were all broke. We're all stupid kids and we're all broke. So what we do is all these guys would go down to the what we called the hangout, the Bridgeport Park. And that's where they all sit around and drink. All the older kids would. Yeah. So right when I was coming up, and I was like 14, 15 years old, and all my buddies were starting to get their permits to drive, we would go to this spot, this Bridgeport Park, call it Mission Impossible. And they would all leave their beer coolers and stuff in the back of their truck. And so we would assign one of us for the night to be the guy who had to get out. We go in dark with the headlights off, whatever, sneak in there. One of us would jump out, go grab as many beers out of their cooler as we could possibly carry, and then jump back in the car and take off, and see if see if you could get away with it. And we always got away with it. We never got caught that I can remember. So we would drink for free.
That's the type of stuff I'm talking about. It's like when me brothers used to take me, were forced to take me for driving when they had their license. I was only about 9 or 8 or 10 years old. It was 9 or 8 pretty much. They'd take Stevie with you, and I just knew. And we'd get chased by the cops all the time, and they'd burn them off, and they'd be street racing and all that type of stuff. And I'd be sliding around in the back seat because there's no seat belts back then. And it's just, we'd get home and I'd say, "Hey, Mum," and I'd run straight to the bedroom with a big grin on my face, shut the door, and I'd just go, "Wow, how fucking good was that?" I just knew, Mum's the word, don't say a thing, and otherwise they wouldn't take me again. And then after that, it'd be like, "Take Steve with you," and I'll be fucking already running for the car.
It seems like every story that was kind of shady in our upbringing always involved older kids. You know what I mean? They were always leading them young kids down the wrong path. So, but that's the kind of stuff. We never did anything. I couldn't street race because I didn't have a car. I bought my first car when I joined the military, so I never had a car in high school, nothing like that. So I was at the mercy of whoever was willing to drive me around town. So if they told me to jump out and go steal beer out of somebody's cooler, I did it because I needed a ride. You know what I mean?
Yeah. Nah, that's it. Oh, yeah. I got a few. I can't remember them at the moment, but anyway. But yeah, there's always obviously parties and all that and whatnot, and just whatever you did, you just made sure you didn't get caught. And I was pretty good at that, so I sort of forget all mine.
Yeah, there's never a problem until you got caught. So
yeah, exactly right. This one is what's your most favourite sport to play or watch live or anything on telly?
I am an absolute college football fan, have been my whole life. I don't care about pro sports, pretty much any pro sports, but I do like college football.
It's like that over there with you guys. The college football's real bigger than the NFL.
NFL's garbage. We don't even care about that. That's a bunch of whiny tit millionaires who don't know how to act. Yeah. And then, they want to voice their personal opinions about everything like anybody gives a shit, But college is still a little bit, they're trying to screw it up. Don't get me wrong. They're trying to really mess it up. But for the longest time, the pro game was just kind of like, if you needed something to do, you watch pro game. But people really get into college sports here. Yeah.
Because I understand that too. Like they're trying to break into the big stream so that they're giving 110% all the time. Whereas you got your pros that have got the money, they're just doing it fucking, going through them.
In college, they're playing for pride. They're playing for their school. It just, to me, it's a lot. It used to be a lot more exciting because it was so different than the pro game. But they've made strides over the last 10 years to make it just like the pro game, which drives me insane. And I watch less college football now than I did before, but I still, if I sit down and watch anything on TV, it probably, I'm going to be looking for a football game first.
Yeah. Yeah. And you into motorsport or anything like that? You just watch a lot, obviously NASCAR or anything like that? Or
yeah, I used to watch a lot of racing. I would watch all the motorcycle racing. If it was two wheels, I'd watch it. I got into NASCAR for a little while there, where I'd watch NASCAR for a bit. But I honestly, it's like with my hobbies, they come and go. So I'll get into something for a little while, a year or two, and I'll be into that. And the next thing you know, I'm just not interested in it anymore. And so, I haven't watched. We have arena cross that comes to our little town. We got a little stadium, and it's not big enough for the big, full motocross, but they do the arena cross stuff. Yeah. So we go to that when it comes to town. I love to go see that kind of stuff in person. We've always said we're going to go do like a supercross, thing where we go up, to like, I don't know, up to Minnesota or somewhere where they have that and do it. But we've never done it.
Used to race in the supercross and all that here. And he's a local boy from Ulladulla, Ben Parise, and he was that good. He was Craig Bell, Glenn Bell and Craig Dack's sort of team partner on the Works Hondas and all that back in the day. But he ended up throwing in later on anyway. But back in the day, we'd go and watch at the City Entertainment Centre, the arena, which is like the arena, but the supercross and your motocross. And it was pretty good at it. I had a good knack of good starts and doing the whole shots, but in the enduro, like the length of the race, he'd sort of throw it away sometimes because he'd be still trying too hard, and the fatigue would get in, and being a young kid. But no, he done all right. Yeah. I love motocross and all that because my brother used to race it as well. He used to have a chick. He finished through about 6'3" and 120 kilos, so he grew out of it. But the motocross, the club racing on a weekend, he'd finish nearly fucking fourth or third or fourth or fifth all the time. And there was a chick in the club, and she had a pair of lips stitched on her ass on the leathers when they raced back then, and she was always in front of him. So all he ever seen was these pair of lips, like kiss my ass. And
he came in second a lot, huh?
Yeah, he always
right behind her.
He always couldn't get past her. She's a lot lighter and a lot quicker and a good rider, and he used to G him up a fair bit. We didn't know him too. Oh, you're getting beat by that girl all the time. He didn't like it. Number 7, we're getting through them. Okay, what celebrity does it for you? Who you wouldn't kick out of bed?
That's a loaded question. That question's going to get me in trouble.
Molly's not watching anyway, so you're right.
Oh, who knows? She might be.
Yeah.
You know what? I don't even know, to be honest with you. Like, gosh, I mean, there's a lot of good-looking celebrities, I guess. Fictional characters, you know what I mean? Like it'd all be fictional characters, you know. Yeah. Some of those Marvel girls or something, maybe. I don't know. Got superpowers, man. Yeah. They got more than just looks.
Yeah. Yeah, I always like old Sandra Bullock, and then what's the name? I always get a name wrong. Thelma, the Mexican chick. She's in Dust Till Dawn, but
Selma Hayek.
Yeah, see Selma.
Yeah, Selma. She was real big there for a while. She was like in all kinds of movies, and I guess she might still be now. I don't watch that many movies now, so.
Yeah. Roger's got a bow. That meeting later. Cheers, Rog. Thanks for popping in. But I always dug her. She's always pretty sweet. Get me in trouble as well.
We'll know in a minute if somebody pops on here and starts making comments.
Yeah, that's it. Well, lucky we only got 3 in there, so we're laughing. It's like, what's your poison, beer, spirits, or cider, and your favorite hangover breakfast?
I'm straight Jack Daniels, man. I mean, if I'm drinking, I'm generally drinking Jack Daniels.
Yeah,
that's just what I like. So I learned a long time ago, if I'm going to drink, then I might as well just drink something I like, and that's what I like. So I don't really do beers anymore or anything like that. It's pretty much Jack Daniels. I always got some friend that will say, hey, why don't you try this? You know, be some other whiskey or whatever. And so maybe I might humor them and have one. But if I'm going to buy the bottle myself, it's going to be Jack Daniels Old Number 7.
Yeah, that's it. And what favorite hangover brekkie? Yeah.
You know, if you just drink Jack Daniels, you don't get a hangover very much. That's another reason why I like to drink Jack Daniels. But my favorite hangover cure would be a Gatorade and old pizza from the night before, cold right out of the refrigerator. Don't heat it up. Nothing.
Cold day-old pizza, best, isn't it? Yeah, you don't heat it up again. You just have cold pizza.
Just eat it. It absorbs all of those bad feelings you got, and it takes care of you right away.
Exactly right. I find that too. If the next morning I'll eat cold pizza, I wouldn't heat it up.
Yeah,
it's just something about it. It's just not the same.
Yep,
but then,
I agree.
Yeah, cold pizza, and then funny you say that. Back in the day when I used to get hangovers as a teenager, you drank too much anyway, and a lot of beers. Yeah, I'd drink just fucking orange juice. Your bacon and egg roll or bacon roll, yeah, for sure. But you'd be going for the orange juice first, just to get some vitamin C in your guts and something back in the life, kicking the life that way.
I've also found that if you sleep long enough, you'll outsleep the hangover. So just stay in bed all day, you know.
Yeah, I tried the one too where you drink longer and you won't get a hangover. I've done
that just keep drinking.
Times. Yeah, I've done that quite a few times.
If you stay drunk, you can't be hungover, right? You know, when I get hungover is always at those stupid campouts and stuff like down there at the K River. You
Well,
go,
you're just having a good time and
yeah,
you're drinking faster.
you let it get out of control. Next thing you know, the sun's baking you in your tent. Your head hurts, your stomach hurts. You probably got to take a shit, and the bathroom's like halfway across the campground. That's the only time a hangover really gets to me is like when I'm out camping, and it seems like that's when I'm always hungover when I'm camping.
Because you have that little bit extra.
Yeah, exactly.
Well, this one's a life learning question. It goes on life. What yourself? What advice would you give the 15-year-old you? Like if you met yourself, oh, you dropped out. We'll have to see if you got PBR for beer, Jack Daniels for sure. True that, mate. True that. Oh, I hope he pops back in. Marcy's up to number 9. There he is.
Got lost there for a second. I don't know what happened. My phone just quit. So, 15-year-old me, what advice would I give 15-year-old me? Gosh, man, there's so much I would tell 15-year-old me. Probably, honestly, what I would tell the 15-year-old me is, man, you got the hard questions, man. These are hard questions. What would I tell 15-year-old me? I mean, I guess, you know, I hate to sound corny or anything like that, but I would tell myself at 15 years old to always, you know, always try. Even if you don't think you can do it, just try it. Because that's been my experience in life. If, you know, there's so many times that I thought, man, maybe I don't want to do that. And then I did it anyway. And it turned out great. So, you know, always try.
That's good advice. A lot of people
don't get discouraged. Just throw yourself into it and find out.
But they'll surprise themselves when they really want to achieve what they're trying to do. They'll push that little bit harder and surprise themselves and get it done.
Yeah, exactly. It's amazing. It's always amazing when I look back on things that I've done. And, you know, when I was growing up poor in Southern Alabama, stealing people's beer out of their coolers, you know.
Yeah.
And I look back at all the things that have happened to me since I left that little small town and all the things I've done and, you know, the places I've gone, the people I've met. And, you know, it always was because instead of just saying, nah, I'm not going to do that, I just would say, yeah, let me give that a shot. And it's always worked out. So, yeah. I mean, that's what I would say.
Yeah, that's a good question. Well, answer, I mean, yeah, and question to yourself. So, next one is what's your favorite thing yourself? What's your favorite thing you yourself love about your channel and YouTube in general?
Oh, wow. Okay. Let me get the first part of that question out. What I love, or my favorite thing about myself, make sure I'm getting this right, love, and about your channel. Well, I mean, I love that I just do what I do, and I haven't fallen into the YouTube trap, I like to call it. You know, I see so many people really trying to make a go at it, and God bless them. I mean, go out there and knock yourself out. But I'm just glad I didn't get caught up in trying to do more than I was capable of doing, and again, making it so much work. It became to where it was starting to feel like work. So I'm just glad I pulled the plug on that and said, you know what, I'm just going to do what I do. If YouTube doesn't like it and they want to, you know, give me strikes for putting music in my videos, okay. If they don't want to monetize me, okay.
That's the only thing I've got to worry about with mine too, because I'm like yourself. Like, it's not like you're not like you're stealing their music. You're promoting their music because you're using their music in your videos so people can listen to it. You like their music, so you're playing it. That's the way I see it.
Yeah, I'm listening to it. You're listening to it. Everybody's listening to it. I mean, I ain't making any money from it, so it's not like I'm profiting from it.
So it's not a copyright. You're just fucking listening to music.
Yeah,
that's the way I see it too. Yeah,
and you know, I've tried to make those videos again. You know, in the beginning, I was like, okay, well, this is the rule, so let me try to, you know, And those videos sucked. I hate them. I go back and watch them now, and I hear that stupid music that's in them that they make you use.
They're looping shit that they got.
And
Yeah.
I hate it. And it's like, I'm not doing that. So I'm just glad I stayed true to what I wanted to do with my own videos. And if that means less videos and less, exposure and less people watching them, then I guess that's what it is. But again, like you said earlier, I'm making these videos because I like to watch them. So
Yeah.
I'm going to watch them no matter who's watching them. And
Exactly right.
yeah, and YouTube in general, I don't like really anything about YouTube in general. The only thing I like about YouTube is the fact that it gives people like you and I the opportunity to get our stuff out there and let people enjoy it if they do get on there and enjoy it. But YouTube's such a I'm gonna watch my language here, but such a sham. They keep changing the rules all the time. Just when you think you've learned what you can and can't do, they change the rules. They update the terms. They do this. They do that. And another thing that just kind of really gets me is I'll see these YouTubers, and they will their stuff is, for lack of a better term, it's complete garbage.
Yeah.
But because maybe they're pretty, or maybe somebody else knows them, and next thing you know, they got like 25,000 subscribers, and it's like it's garbage, and it's like I can't even stand to watch it, so I don't watch it. But somebody's watching it because I got 25,000 subscribers. You know what I mean?
I've done that. Yeah, I've done that the same. Like I've been watching a couple, and the same thing. I think we're talking about the same person or not, but yeah, it's just like I'm not watching that. And they got so many subs, and I was like, fuck, nah, it's not my cup of tea. See you later.
I'll be perfectly honest with you, man. I'm still watching most of the same people.
Yeah.
That I was watching when I very first started out, and I didn't know any of these people. They didn't know me. They had 100 subscribers or whatever. I'm still watching those same people because those people, they make content that I enjoy watching. And I could care less if it's one of them, two of them, three of them, four of them. It could be a whole damn squad of them. It could be 12 people that's involved in those videos. I could care less. If they're putting out content that's entertaining and I enjoy watching it, I'm going to watch it. And I find that over the years, I mean, I've added one here or there, and then I've watched people because other people have said, "Hey, go check this guy out and do." And you find out, hey, they make pretty decent videos, and I latch onto that and I subscribe and I watch their stuff. And then there's been dozens that I get on there and I watch 4 or 5 videos, and I think, wow, I don't know what the hell that was even supposed to be, but I only got so many minutes in my life, and I'm never getting them 2 minutes back, so I'm not watching that anymore. But I see so many people that, like, some of them, like, everybody watches Shade Tree Surgeon. I mean, that dude, everybody loves Shade Tree Surgeon.
I don't, because
you don't?
Because
see, there you go.
Only because it's a big channel. I've started to watch him, and it's like Boxhead and all that, but.
Yeah, see, there's another one, Blockhead. I don't watch Blockhead.
Because they got sponsors and shit like that, and they're big. They're a big channel, so they don't really want me watching them. So,
well, see, I tell you what I like about like Shade Tree is his stuff is so like not scripted most of the time.
Yeah,
he's just him on there talking. He does things that I find super interesting, like jumping on a piece of shit motorcycle that he just bought, drive it across the country, and let's see what happens. That kind of stuff. That's what I like about it. Blockhead, to me, everything seems like a damn commercial. Everything's a commercial with that. Sponsors this and that. And not that he he made great content. He still does, I'm sure. But back in, when I first started watching him, it was a whole lot different than when I stopped watching him, to be honest with you. It's like, it's just, but that's what YouTube is, right? If you don't like it, then don't subscribe to it. Don't watch it. But you know what I don't do? I've never done? To this day, I've had a YouTube channel since like, I don't even know now, maybe 2017. I have never one time got on a YouTube channel or a YouTube creator's channel and hit that damn thumbs down button. I don't understand that. I'll never understand it.
If I don't like them,
if you don't like it, turn it off. Quit watching it. But to get on there and make shitty comments and hide behind your keyboard and act like an idiot, that kind of stuff drives me nuts. So But yeah, like there's some big YouTubers out there that I just don't watch. There's one in particular that's really big, and I had lots of people tell me, you got to watch this guy's stuff. You're going to love it. You're going to love it. I watched it and I hated it. I don't know what it was about it. I just didn't like it. So I didn't you know, and every time I tell somebody, no, I don't watch that. I tried watching, I don't like it. They're like, what? You're crazy.
Yeah,
Well,
I'm the
I
same.
might be, but
It's like
I don't
everyone
like it.
talks over here about the $1 million bogan. I said, mate, nah, he's not my cup of tea. I don't like it. I think he's a character. He's a character, and I think he's just putting it all on. He doesn't look after he's like we're talking about earlier. Like poor being a kid growing up trying to make a buck. I got me Harley. I'm not getting another one. That's the one I'm going to have and look after. I'm not out there to go flog it in the scrub, even though I like ride it like a trail bike, but ride like to style it every now and then. But it's just when you haven't got money and you save up to get what you want, you're not going to treat it like a piece of shit. You're going to look after it, or you know.
Yeah, that's absolutely the truth. And you know,
Yeah,
something else I've found as I've gone through my career and I've made more money and advanced or done whatever, you know, for me, it always goes back to the pursuit of something. Like
yeah,
you want it and then you look at it and then you think about it and then you wonder about it and then you know, you just lust after it for a while. And then you get it and sometimes it's everything you thought it would be and sometimes it's not. But the whole process of just wanting that thing and then having to wait for it when you
yeah,
could just go and call a sponsor and say, send me this or that or the other, and send me two of
yeah,
them. You know, I totally agree with you. It
yeah.
takes a lot out of what is to me
Yeah,
part of
mate.
the enjoyment of the whole damn thing.
Yeah. All honesty, too, these channels that are getting sponsors and all, they're good on them because they got sponsors. But I don't watch them as much. If they just going to try and plug Legend suspension or Zero fucking lights or and things like that,
Yeah, and I mean,
it's just
again, if
what
you're
do you
trying to
call it?
make a go at it, then that's the
Yeah,
normal progression. You know,
yeah.
you're gonna have to have some help.
They're going to
You're
have to
gonna
get
have to,
sponsors.
yep,
Exactly
you're gonna
right.
have because it's
I
expensive,
understand exactly right. I
and you need to
understand
get
you've got to
people
do
to
that.
put your name out there. Because let's be honest, I mean,
Yeah,
you know, if you're only got, you know, 1,000 subscribers, and even if you're making great content and you're not getting your stuff out there, if you don't have a shade tree surgeon or
yeah,
someone else talking about you to someone else, then your channel could probably stay small forever.
yeah.
And if that's not what you want, then yeah, you're going to go out and do what you got to do. And I got nothing against anybody that has sponsors,
No,
but
no,
I
no.
just think it changes the dynamic of what it is that they're doing
Changes
sometimes.
their whole channel, real
Yeah,
I find, because they're
and
just
now
trying to.
you owe them something because
Yeah,
they are your sponsor, you know.
yeah,
And I that was one thing, you know, in the very early days when my channel first started getting, you know, some subscribers and stuff. I had, you know, a few of those companies or whatever. They would email you and say, hey, if you're interested in this thing, you know, blah blah blah, we'll send it to you, and you know, you give us a quick review and all that. I never took anything. I never took one thing because
yeah,
I wasn't going to make a video for someone else. That's just not what I wasn't doing it for that. Now
yeah.
I think about all that free shit I could have got. That'd have been great. You know, yeah, we could always
Mm,
use some free shit, but I don't want to owe anybody anything. And
no,
I didn't see my channel. I wasn't trying to grow that channel. I wasn't
no,
trying to do this on a large scale. Like I said, make a lot of work out of it.
no.
Maybe one day I'll change my mind and I'll be like, you know, I'll be sucking all the sponsors off, and I'll be like, hey man, you know,
Yeah,
send me some shit, man. I'll do whatever you want. I'll bark like a dog. But
yeah,
for me
nah.
right now, that just ain't where I'm at. So
It's funny all that, yeah, because well, we work in a big factory, and a lot of people have got company cars, and it's a big factory, and everyone says, "How come you don't have a car?" I got sick because I don't suck. What do you mean? He goes, "Well, yeah, just think about that one a bit, you know,
yeah.
or they don't like people that fucking stand up for themselves." And I
No,
go, "Really?
they don't like free thinkers, man. We
Yeah,
all know that. That's the
exactly
same.
right.
I don't care if you're where you're at, on what hemisphere. People don't they like yes men and women.
Yeah,
They
yeah,
don't want people to free think. They don't want them to question. And so it's the
exactly.
same. YouTube's exactly the same way. I
Yeah,
mean, if you're going to be a yes man or woman and you want to do that, I got nothing against it. Go knock yourself out. I really have no
yeah.
problem with it.
If
But
they want to
I'm
be a
going to
ladder
watch your
climber, then be a
content.
ladder climber. But like at the end of the day, it's how you want to bring yourself across
Yeah,
to people. So
if you're
yeah,
making good stuff, I'll watch it. I mean, I don't care if you got 1,000 sponsors, but
yeah,
if you're just making content to satisfy your sponsors,
for a sponsor.
then
Yeah,
I'm not interested in commercials.
a
Hey, that's
lot,
why I
a lot
watch
of
YouTube, so I don't
a
have to
lot of
watch a
them have
bunch of
fallen
commercials.
into that bucket. You
Yeah,
know, like they are just trying to plug the sponsors all the time, and
yeah,
I've stopped watching a lot of videos because of that. Because it's only a sponsor for. I won't watch reviews, and that's one of the reasons why I won't watch it. Or tutorials only if I need to. finding out how to change the air filter or a fuel filter on
Right.
the car or something like that, they are handy that way. But if I see someone, I'm going to do a helmet review. Nah, not watching it. I got my helmet until I need a new one.
Yeah, and that's the thing. You know, I don't unsubscribe from a lot of these people for sure, but I'll just, if I see that's the video they got up for this week, and I know that's not a helmet I'm ever going to buy.
Yeah, I won't watch it.
Why would I watch it?
Or they're talking about suspension or any mods or anything like that. If I want,
well, especially if they're talking about something I can't afford.
Yeah, exactly.
You got a $3,000 suspension on your motorcycle?
Yeah,
I'm probably not watching that video because my shit is stock for a reason.
Yeah.
You know, shit's expensive.
Yeah, exactly. I got the old stock girl there, and she's vintage now, so I'm not going to be like.
Hey, I just figured it out. That's why they do it, man. Because then you get a $3,000 suspension for nothing.
For nothing. Exactly.
Damn, right. I can't believe I missed that.
And I do understand like suspension. Yeah, like everyone wants a softer tush and you ride.
Yeah, ain't no shit, man.
But man, you just got to ride what you can ride. You can't jump on a rigid and ride 500 miles.
And again, it's part of that whole thing, man. It's like, you know, if everything's just handed to you, then I mean, the thrill is 75% gone for me.
Yeah,
you know? I like to chase. I like to lust after something for a little while, and then when you get it, it's either a bigger reward or you figure out like. You know, I've had those things happen, you know, where I got the Street Glide. I loved it. Loved it. I mean, I loved everything about it except for paying for it. And eventually I just said, well, I'm the one making the decisions here. Harley Davidson ain't my sponsor. You know, they didn't give me this motorcycle and I'm tired of paying for it. I'm going to go get something else. And that's what you do. You know, we all make decisions.
Exactly right, mate. Exactly right. There's so many guys getting all shit from companies and exactly right.
Yeah. And then if you're really big, then they'll give you the motorcycle too. And I'm not, hey, you guys want to send me a motorcycle, send it to me. But if I choose not to do a video for you, I just still ain't going to do the video. You know what I mean?
Yeah, exactly. I'm not one for that type of thing also.
Hey, and maybe one day we'll be there, brother. Maybe one day we'll just wake up and say, you know what? I feel like I just want everything I can get. I want the UPS man to literally just live at my house, bringing me free shit, and then that's what it is. Yeah. And there's nothing wrong with free shit. I like free shit like everybody else, like you said.
Yeah, everyone loves free shit, but just not many only out there fucking handing it to you.
Yeah, and it is true. I mean, how many? I've seen. I follow Brian and Heather real close. They're close to me. They're only a few hours away.
And I know they've got a sponsor now, but I love them. Watch their stuff. Yeah.
And they got a sponsor, you know, they got 3D, which is awesome. Yeah. But they're a prime example of he had, you know, he's like putting parts on his buddies' bikes and stuff sometimes now because when they get rolling like that, they send them so much stuff. I mean, they're literally just trying to find a way to get that video done for them and it's working out great for them and they're going, you know, right. And I love it. But I just think about for myself personally, all the time and work that has to go into making that sponsor happy and doing this and doing that. Maybe some of them aren't like that. Of course, I don't have one, so I'm talking out my ass here because this is all guesswork for me. But
we're spitballing.
But you know what? If I decide today I ain't doing a video, then I ain't doing it. You know, I like it like that. So.
No, exactly right.
And I think my subscriber count will prove that to you. I don't have a bunch of subscribers, so it's
mine does too, mate. Mine goes up a couple and goes down a couple, and it's all around the same.
And that's that YouTube bullshit, man. I don't know what that is, man. I'll look on there. I got 10 subscribers, and then the next day I've lost 7 of them already. They hate my shit that much that they subscribe and unsubscribe. I mean, there's some. I don't know how all that works.
They'll
put them bots on.
There. And you're going, fucking who are you? You don't even. Nah, see ya. It's like, one will be gone in a couple of days, and then what do you know? In a couple of days, you missed 2 subs. Yeah,
and I'll go a week anymore where I don't. Of course, I haven't released a real video since Sturgis. So hell, I'd have to get on there and even see. But that was in the middle of August, maybe. So why would I get on and check my subscriber count, man? I haven't put a video out forever, so it's like if I got any new subscribers, it would be a shock to me. But if you're going to put the time and effort and energy into it, then you should be rewarded. And I want to see your subscriber count go up. Me, I'm way too lazy for that. So it is what it is, man.
No, exactly right. Okay, we'll jump on the next question. We're nearly there. It's number 10. It's tattoos. What was your first? Tell us a story about getting your tattoo. Favorite type, color or black and gray? And if you got none.
Yeah, I've got some tattoos. My very first one was just black work.
Yeah.
But I've since gone and had that tattoo touched
Cut.
up and then colored since
Yeah.
then, 2 different times. So I've had the same tattoo worked on 3 times
Yeah.
because it didn't it was my first tattoo. I didn't pay very much for it. And you're gonna get what you pay for when it comes to tattoos.
Yeah.
So
Exactly.
yeah, when I was young, I got a tattoo, but I've had it fixed up a couple of times, and I can live with it. But yeah, I had that done here in Council Bluffs where I live, and
Yeah.
it was at best a fly by night tattoo place, man. And this
Yeah.
guy was your typical big, like 6'3", 320 pound biker dude. And I walked in, I go, "Hey, I want this, that, and the other." He goes, "Yeah, no problem. Sit down." And 30 minutes later, I'm like, "What the heck is that?"
Yeah.
And I lived with it for about 10 years. And then
Yeah.
I have a brother who actually is a tattoo artist. And I told him one day, finally, I was like, "Man, you got to clean them lines up and do something with that thing." And, so he did fixed it
Yeah.
up. And then I had another guy color it in. I actually, here's the tattoo right here. Let me see if I can get it's,
Yeah.
it ain't nothing special, but I had it done up like the United States flag with the color
Mm-hmm.
later. And then, of
Yeah.
course, he cleaned the lines up because it was a typical, the lines were all
Yeah.
like bleeding
Edgy.
out. And
Yeah.
yeah, it was totally stupid. But I've never actually covered it up because it was my first tattoo. And I mean, again,
Yeah.
maybe a reminder, hey, you better figure shit out before you just go running off half cocked, because if you don't, you're going to have a really shitty looking tattoo on your body. So, but I've gotten several others since then. And matter of fact, I've let my brother do most of them, and he does
Yeah.
great work, and he's cheap,
Yeah.
he does it for me at a
Exactly.
good deal. So,
That's right. Yeah. If it wasn't so expensive, I'd be fucking covered in more as well.
oh,
But
Jesus.
with the
For years,
safety,
yeah, for years, I couldn't have tattoos that showed at my job. I
yeah.
couldn't, if I had them, they had to be able to be covered up. And they've
Yeah.
since
Mine would.
changed that. But that's why I'm not tatted head to toe,
Yeah.
because I couldn't. That's the only reason.
Yeah, mine was respect for me oldies, but then it just got fucking too old, and now I was like, yeah, fuck it. So,
Yeah.
so I just got
Well,
it
that's
on
where
now.
I'm at right now. It's like, man,
Yeah,
I'd love to have me some sleeves and shit, but it's like, man, I'm
yeah,
50 years old now. Do I really want to be
yeah.
getting my wrinkled ass skin all tattooed up now?
I'm like Skid Piggy. I like black and grey. I really like a good, real black and grey artists out there with white highlights. They can really do a good job. But colour every now and then throw in. It's not too bad. Also,
Yeah,
yeah,
I like straight black work. Most of everything I have is just like black.
yeah.
It
I
seems
still
old
love.
school to me.
Yeah, I love to get my shoulder done again. Oh, done. I was going to have sort of a predator and all that all around my shoulder and across my chest and over the rear shoulder blade, the whole job. But funds, money's just fucking it costs too much. So I was like, nah.
Yeah,
One day, maybe, if I fucking win the lottery.
and
Or if
I've
I've
been
got
to
money inside.
Sturgis, over a dozen times, and
Yeah,
there's usually a bunch of tattoo places that you can go and get like a specific Sturgis tattoo or something, or Harley tattoo. And believe it or not, I don't have a Harley tattoo. I've
yeah,
always thought I'd get one at some point. I just never have, but maybe that's what I'll do next time I go to Sturgis.
yeah,
Yeah, get me a tattoo from some fly by night place, but at least
yeah.
it'll be in Sturgis and it'll be a Harley tattoo.
No, mine actually is, oh, I don't know. Mine's actually a belt buckle. I went in there with a
Oh,
belt
there you go.
buckle. It's a belt buckle with a eagle claw hanging onto it. I took it in here and he just photocopied that. I can get a highlights like away he went. Wow, man, no worries, good stuff. That was up at Port Macquarie. Anyway, I love tattoos, but they cost too much now, so it's sort of. But when I was earlier, it was fucking for respect for me oldie, so I didn't get my first one until I was about 23, 25. Then after that, it's like, yeah, went and got heaps. And now it's like, I can't afford them, so what's the point?
Yeah, yeah, I hear you. And I always got something better. It seems like that I want to get, like motorcycle parts.
Yeah.
It's hard to think about spending
Oh,
$300-400 on a
that's like
tattoo.
now, yeah. With the four drive and all that, like I said, we just
Yeah,
bought the winch yesterday, so they've got to put that on. And then also there's a winch. I had three things I wanted to get, and there's either a winch or a fucking cordless chainsaw, battery powered chainsaw, or a shower unit to heat the hot water up. And then I thought, well, the hot water thing, that's a luxury, so they can wait. The chainsaw, mate's got a chainsaw when we go four bins, so I don't really need that. none of us have got a winch, so fuck yeah, I'll get that then. So it's sort of thought about in that way and said, yeah. No, and plus, like I said before, me and the oldies go 4-wheel drive, and misses, we go 4-wheel driving by ourselves, so we really need it to, if we do get stuck and try that unforgivable river crossing and you can't get out, you want to have something that can help you out.
Yeah.
No service and you can't ring anyone. No use ringing me mate because he gets lost fucking going down the road.
Yeah, and I don't know, but I've watched a few of your videos when you're out and about in that 4-wheel drive, and it doesn't look like anywhere I want to be walking out of if I got to walk for miles back to the main road. That a lot of things out there trying to kill you out in that area there.
There's plenty out there. Like we many times we've come across the goannas and they'll fucking run up the tree and all that, and haven't seen many snakes yet, which is good. But there's always the spiders and the bites. But yeah, just the way it is. Up north where Skid Pig is, he's got all the crocs and the wild pigs up there. Number 12, 10 more to go. This one's what's the main thing to do on your bucket list?
Main thing on my bucket list. Well, I mean, the one thing that I've always thought about doing and will do eventually is, of course, I want to tour across the country on a motorcycle. I mean, a legit it'll have to happen when I'm retired because I'll have to have an unlimited amount of time, but just get on the motorcycle and basically, I don't know if I'll hit every single state, probably won't, but I definitely want to go hit the highlights and have a trip that's like, a real travel trip where I'm out on the road until I decide I'm done being on the road and then I'll come on back. So, probably several weeks, months, hell, who knows? I don't know. But there's so much to go and see and do on a bike that I've never done. And that's I think about that all the time. I'm constantly on there looking for different destinations to ride to, and I'm compiling them in a mental list. And one day I'm just going to pack the bike and I'm going to be like, well, I'll see you when I get back. And that's probably the biggest bucket list thing for me is just to actually get out and take that epic, motorcycle trip across the country or a couple times cross country. Hell, who knows?
Yeah, obviously the big one for me is probably to go over the US and meet most of you guys. But here, like realistic ones is like we want to go to the Cape, right up the tip of Australia, and that's up near Skid Pig's territory. And he said when we head up, we're going to hit him up and we'll probably all do it together. It's sort of planning 2023 to do that. But also, just plenty of camping trips and trekking around and also riding as well, riding and camping and going more rides and things like that. So that's mine. And we'd love to fucking pack up and fucking trek around the countryside as well. But yeah, we're too busy working.
Yeah. Life's hard on working people, man.
Yeah, exactly right. Final question. Future plans for your channel this year, and what should we keep an eye out for?
Future plans for well, I don't know. Let me make something up for you real quick.
More videos, yeah.
Because my shit. I mean, like
eventually get more videos out.
Yeah, I told you earlier. I don't even know if we were on when we were talking about it, but I've been planning on doing some live. I've had so many people talk to me about, hey, why don't you do like a podcast where you just sit around and smoke the cigar and have have talks like, I did some of those early on when I was doing the YouTube channel and people seem to like them pretty good. And so I've had that idea in my mind for a long time, but maybe not a true podcast, but just have somebody come over once every couple of weeks, sit on the deck with them, smoke a cigar, talk about the cigars, talk about current events, talk about ride plans, whatever the hell, and do some stuff like that. And that would be fairly easy for me, time-wise, to be able to do that, get it out, put it out on the channel. My plan is always the same, to get an epic trip that I could get enough footage on to be able to show. Because my thing is, and if you've watched my videos and I want to show the trip from the very beginning to the very end. I want you to be able to watch it and get a feel like, hey, man, I was there. I went on that ride. I seen enough of what they were doing to envision that what that ride was like. So, like I said earlier, when my camera shits out on me in the middle, or I can't get the finish on it, or whatever, I've got so much stuff that just gets pitched because I don't get what I want out of it, and I refuse to just cut it into little bits and put little bits out there. So I guess maybe I need to do some more of that live stuff, and maybe even when I'm riding, man, maybe just do some lives while you're out on these rides, where when you get to somewhere, you sit down, tell people where you're at and what you're doing. But I mean, I guess that might be a thing. But if I can get some rides planned, this year is probably going to be, I'll tell you this here first. And then you and 3 other people will know, because nobody cares what I'm doing anyway. But I didn't get my vacation for Sturgis this year, because I have to bid my vacation in December for the entire next year. That's how it works at my work. And so I didn't get my Sturgis vacation in. Somebody else already had that. So I'm switching gears, and I'm probably going to be doing Bikes, Blues, and Barbecue, if they actually have that, down in Fayetteville this year. So that's going to be exciting and new for me, because I've never done Bikes, Blues, and Barbecue, and it's a new area to go and see, and a new adventure. So there'll definitely be that will be one that I'll plan for months ahead of time, where I'll try to make sure I got it played out in my mind, where I want to be, what I want to film, that kind of stuff. And then hopefully, if the goddamn GoPro doesn't shit out on me like it does so many other times, I'll get enough footage out of that to make a nice video out of Bikes, Blues, and Barbecue. But it's always the same thing for me, man. It's trip videos. I want to get into the camping, the moto camping, and I did it several times last year, but I only ever put 2 videos out on it, which was, I went once with my twin brother, and then I went to K River Campground. So I would say, if you're going to see anything on my channel, it's going to be moto camping, because that's just where my interest is right now. So
it's same with mine. It's much of the same, just probably even up a bit more with more motorbike stuff, and definitely more 4-wheel camping and fishing for mine. So what's on there already is actually, it'll still be the same, but just hopefully sharpen it up a bit more, obviously, with the editing techniques. But time to get editing, that's always the problem.
And when you enjoy it, and at first I enjoyed editing. That whole process, I really enjoyed, being able to take that footage, put it all together, and make a story out of it. But then when you start to get pressed for time, and you realize how much time a good edit takes you to do, and then it's like, well, I don't even want to get started, because I don't have 15 hours to sit over a course of 5 days and do this editing.
3 days. 3 days, 5 days to do it.
And I guess I'm always kind of like, man, if I can't do it right, I don't even want to do it. And I told you, I go back and watch some of these videos that I did that. I cut corners, or I did it quickly, and I didn't get what I wanted out of it. And I go back and watch those videos, and every time I watch them, I literally want to go into the thing there and block it and turn it off, because I don't want people watching that, because I'm not happy with it. So it goes back to that perfectionist thing sometimes, where it's like, if it ain't good enough for me, if I don't enjoy it, why the hell would I think anybody else is going to enjoy it? Don't even put it out there. It's garbage.
Yeah, exactly right. Now, me and Drew spoke about that on his live when he was on, exactly the same thing. Like, when you feel your videos, I could have done that better. I really want to do this, or I should have made that one video instead of 2, things like that. It's just way things roll. You try and do do things and squeeze it all in, or you cut it up and make it more episodes, and then one episode is not as good as the other one, and it's not getting as much views, and views on that don't bother me. It's just you want to put out good stuff for people to watch. And
you want it to be worth your time and everybody else's time. And the other thing is YouTube screwing with you all the time, Again, then you finally think you got the perfect video going. You got everything going right. You spend 3 hours uploading that son of a bitch, and then you get a damn thing at the end of it that says, "Oh, we can't put this on YouTube because you played this song in wherever they won't let you play it." And it's like, then you just want to take your computer and throw it through the window. So it's always something, man. It's always something.
I did one that was all about Ellenborough Falls. There was a murder up there on the wife and the 2 children, and I used a song in it, and use it as a backdrop and set. And it got the warning at the end. It says, "This won't be played in certain countries because of such and such." I thought, oh well, it can be played in the others, but if you're going to slam me for that, then too bad. But it's too good a video to even block or take down. So
well, and you know what they'll do too?
Yeah.
They literally go back and they retroact the new rules on your old videos, because I've had videos that were out for a year, 2 years, no problem whatsoever. And then all of a sudden I get an email from YouTube, hey, your video's been blocked. Like, that video has 15,000 views. It's been out for 2 years. Why in the hell is it being blocked now? So even if you're doing it right today, that doesn't mean in 6 months they won't change the rules and screw you up then too. So again, I get really fed up of dicking around with YouTube. I wish there was some other place that I could really put, again, it's all part of that, why it makes you get discouraged about making videos. It's like, man, I put all this time and effort into it, and it's just a huge waste of time sometimes. So, YouTube needs to get their shit together is what they need to do. I mean, this started as a really great thing, I think, where people could get on there and do their thing. And now if you say the word, if you say the virus, they want to cut you off. If you say something bad about Joe Biden, they want to cut you off. If if you say you don't like the color green, then they want to cut you. It's like, just leave me the hell alone, man. Let me do my thing.
It's fucking you around. Exactly right. Yeah. Well, that's it, brother. Thanks very much. We made it. Not
a problem. I appreciate you having me on here. I'm glad we got it worked out this time, because the last time I kind of screwed that all up for you, and I apologize about that.
It's all good now. I knew we'd get there in the end. But thanks very much. Thanks the whole 2 people, Peaches and whoever else is there.
Yeah, who we got on here? Miss Peaches 79. Angry Boomer.
Angry
nice.
Boomer.
Thanks for being here.
He's still hanging around.
And then Skid Pig was on here for a little bit.
Yeah, Skid Pig was on there earlier, and we had a few in and out, which is I knew it was going to be like that back in today, being a midday thing over here down under. But,
well, and you didn't have a very exciting guest on either, bro. I mean, sometimes you got to work with the B team. What are you going to do? But I enjoyed doing it, and like I said, I still watch your videos. I still watch everybody's videos from the beginning, because those are the people that I'm most interested in watching. Sometimes some new people, some bigger people get in there, and you watch some of their stuff and you're like, oh, this is really great. But then it becomes like it's a commercial endeavor. And it's like, man, I just want to see a dude in his 4-wheel drive, camping out, drinking some beer, having a good time, so that I feel like I went on a camp out with you. That's ultimately what I'm looking for. So
that's exactly the same as me, brother. That's exactly right. Not a problem.
Well, thanks for having me.
Not a problem. We'll end this broadcast. See you guys.